Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name's Nicole and I know it's been like an absolute minute since I've done a video. I've just been so super busy this year, but I am back. I've got some more videos coming your way and I thought I would kick off the new videos with a kitchen tour. So at the end of 2020, we were lucky enough to be able to have our kitchen renovated. We'd been saving up for a long time and it was something that really needed doing. The kitchen we had before was just so dark and gloomy. It had no storage, it just wasn't functional, and it was coming to the point where it was making me feel really unhappy to be in the kitchen. And I love to cook, so that's just something that I didn't want to happen. So we took the plunge and had a refurb and I am absolutely in love with it. So today I'm going to talk you through what kitchen we went for, some of the decisions that we made and why we made them, some of the things that maybe we wish we could have had but couldn't, and just basically what made us have the kitchen that we've got. So the main issue that I have is that I have really bad back pain and I was finding that the functionality of this kitchen just did not suit my needs. So that was one of the priorities, that I needed the kitchen to be really functional for me to be able to use it. And then storage was the next thing, because the kitchen we had before just had no storage. We could hardly fit anything in it, and being a family of 4, we needed that storage. And now the units that we've got just have tons of storage and I am so happy with it. So my main advice to you, if you're thinking of having your kitchen done, is just live in the kitchen for a little while and figure out what you need and where you need it, because there's nothing worse than having something done and then realising it's not functional. We took a really long time to decide which companies we were going to go with, whether that was like down to the smaller appliances or the big appliances or the actual units, etc. We didn't go with the same company for everything. We went to different places. We tried to get it as reasonably priced as we could because we were doing it on a budget, and I am really happy with how it turned out. So let me get into showing you what we ended up doing. So as you can see here, we have our oven. This is a Rangemaster 900 classic oven and it's what we had in before. I absolutely love this oven. It's got so much space, having the 2 sides, and it's an amazing oven. It's a really expensive oven as well, so I didn't want to buy a new one. And I had some advice on some decorating pages that said to French chic the front of it, which if you look into it, that actually voids your home insurance, so I would not advise to do that. But what we did do, which we found out through a bit of research, is that you can remove the panels. So on top of these panels are screws and you can take the panels off, because when Rangemaster make the oven, it's a buildable oven, so you can add on what you need. So I just went to Rangemaster, a website where they sell replacements, and I just got replacement front covers for all the doors and for the panel, and voila, we now have a black oven, which was originally all cream at the front, and it looks like it's completely brand new. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It works perfectly fine. It's amazing, and I'm so happy that we decided to switch out the front of the panels, because it is like we've got a brand new oven and I love it. So because of keeping this oven, we had to kind of have a similar style. Kieran would have liked to have had all brand new gloss worktops, everything like that, but it just did not fit with the style of the Rangemaster, so we had to keep it in tone with the theme of that, kind of like a cottagey look, which is what I love anyway, but I wanted a little bit more of a modern version. So we decided to go with a shaker style unit for the actual cupboard doors. So as you can see, the shaker style units are the ones that have this edging around them, and these are the Fairford range from Howdens. So we went to a few different kitchen shops to get prices for them. Some of them were really good shops, but they were just way out of our price range. Some of them were really poor service. They were really trying to sell you and upsell you things and just weren't listening to what you want. Some of them were just sheer rude to the designs that we wanted, but Howdens were absolutely brilliant. I could not fault them at all. The girl who designed the kitchen was brilliant. She took all of our ideas on board. She designed it how we wanted it. Nothing was ever too much for her, and Clarissa, bless her, must have changed the design like 100 times for us before we managed to get exactly what we wanted. and everything came. It was really good, really well made. There was a couple of items that were damaged on arrival, but they swapped them out straight away, no problems. So there was a really good company to work with. I would highly recommend Howdens. The only thing is that you have to have a trade account with them, which we used our friend's trade account, but a lot of the builders that you can use, a lot of kitchen fitters will have an account with Howdens. The fitter that we used, he actually had an account anyway, so we could have just gone through him. But yes, definitely recommend Howdens, and the product is really good. So like I said, this is the Fairford range from Howdens, and there is a similar range that we were going to go with that didn't have a grey in it, but we wanted grey, and the grey that was in that was either too light or too dark. And I know I'm sounding like very much like Goldilocks, but it really does make a difference. The one that we were originally going to go with was like a dove grey colour, and online it looked perfect, but when we went in store to see it in person, it just looked a little bit off-white, and it was just a bit too light for us. And the slate grey was like really dark, more like a charcoal grey. So we just wasn't really happy with that range. But when she showed us this range, this grey just was perfect. It matched everything throughout the house, and we really, really loved it. So I would highly recommend going in person to see it, or seeing if you can bring some samples home to look at in the light, because sometimes in the different lighting as well, the shades look just completely different. We decided to have a full-on like cottage style, I don't even know what to say this is, like around the oven. So we've got the two cupboards either side, and then we've got some cupboards that are up at the top. And this houses our extractor fan and light. Now, we did originally have the Rangemaster one up here that went with the oven, but it just didn't fit with the new design. She tried to design it in there, but it just wasn't working. So we decided to get this box one in here, which is a Cookology one, and I got this off Amazon, which I will link it below if it's still online. So the lights come on, and then just a fan, like a very basic extractor fan, nothing special. The only problem we had is that the unit is 900 and the cooker is 900. We needed to find an 800 extractor, and the next size was coming up was like 700, so it was really difficult to find one, but this one fit in perfectly, and we went with the silver so that it matched in with the grey, and that is just housed inside of there, and it fits in spot on, so that was really good. And then the storage, we really wanted to make sure that we utilised the whole thing, because the lack of storage beforehand was just ridiculous. So we've got cupboards everywhere now, and that is the brilliance of Howdens. They'll just do what you want. If you tell them that you want anything, they'll design it in for you as best they can. So I love my hot drinks. I absolutely love like a coffee, a hot chocolate, tea, what have you. So I really wanted a full cupboard with drinks, because before it was all just crammed in like on one shelf, and it was like not enjoyable. And I always just think the things that you love in life, you need to be able to enjoy the whole experience. Now I know that that's just a hot drink, but it's just so much more than a hot drink, isn't it? So this whole cupboard now is my hot drink cupboard and my snacks. So we are able to have all these shelves. We've got like teas, coffees, hot chocolates and treats, and then these are like our extra sauces and honeys and spreads and things like that, and it just makes me so, so happy. And then over on the other side is just our spare herbs and spices. I actually have a herb rack on the back of a door under the stairs, but I even have an empty shelf. Like, I would never have thought I would ever have an empty shelf ever in this kitchen, but it's just so much space, and you can move the shelves up and down to give you more or less. So like the bottom shelf here, we need more space vertically for like the oils and stuff, whereas up here we don't need as much space. So I really love that you can adjust all that. And the cupboards are all soft close, which I think comes as standard anyway. But that's great when you've got kids that love to slam a cupboard and you don't want to have banging all the time, do you? That's pretty much it for my cooker area, and that's all just on one side there. Down by the bottom of the cooker area, we don't really actually have much stuff that is for the cooker. The cupboard that we have here to the left of the oven, I did make a small faux pas. I do wish I had a drawer put in here, but at the time I really didn't think I needed one, but we could have done with an extra drawer. which you can have. It's got the attachments for a drawer fitting. It was just the way I designed it. But this one is for our baking stuff at the bottom, and then the kids' snacks. And what I like to do, and I know this is going in more of an organisational video, but I like to just empty all the snacks out in the basket and then get rid of any wrappers, because what is absolutely the worst thing is when you think you've got stuff in and you actually go in the wrapper and it's all empty. So the kids can get their own snacks ready for school or what have you. And then what I like to do as well is utilise the door space. So I get these command hooks here, and I've got these little clip-on things from Amazon. Don't know what they're called, but they're like little clippies. And I just like to clip my tea towels to hang so they're all hidden away, not left out anywhere. And then there's some extra oven gloves. And then that is that cupboard there. So coming round to my sink area now, and to fit in with the cottage style theme that I wanted, I really wanted a Belfast sink. Now I have always loved a Belfast sink, I just did not think this space was big enough. We were initially going to get a single Belfast sink, which is a 600mm one, and it was in one of the shops that we went to that we didn't actually end up going with that said no, you could fit a double in, because they're not 1200 for a double, they're actually 800. Because the idea of having just one sink wasn't like fitting for me. I really like to have my little sink, do you know what I mean? So the idea that I've now got two big sinks is so good. It is so convenient, it's so handy, like having the kids, like I could be washing up on one side and they could be using the other side for something. We can wash the dogs in here now because it is big enough rather than me leaning over the bath and breaking my back. So it is just so convenient to have this Belfast sink, and it is so pretty. It just really, it adds just so much to the kitchen. Like, I mean, other sinks look nice, but I feel like this just adds something special to it. I don't know, like I'm probably sounding crazy, but I just love it so much, and I'd always wanted one, and now I've got one, and I was so happy. We didn't get this from Howdens. We actually got this from an online store called Tap Warehouse, and it was on sale. It was reduced to, I think, I want to say £300, which was a lot cheaper than getting it from Howdens or any of the other stores. So if you are going to go with a Belfast sink or another sink, have a look around on other websites, because you don't have to go with the supplier. They are the same size. Just check all your measurements, but Belfasts are a standard 600, 800 for a single and a double. So yeah, that is my sink, and I absolutely love it. And the next thing that, oh my god, was one of the best purchases I have ever made in my entire life is this tap. So it has this section here, which is my regular tap, which has like your hot and cold and on and off, and then it changes to a different function there. But this section here is a boiling hot water tap. Now, you probably think that that is such a luxury to have a boiling hot water tap, but I feel like it is such a necessity now in my life. So working from home, being at home quite a lot last year, I make a lot of coffee, guys. I boiled that kettle a lot and stood around waiting for that kettle a lot. So this is just instant hot water. It's so convenient for the amount of brews that I make, but also like pasta, anything like that when you're doing your cooking. And you just, it's got a safety switch here, which a lot of people have said, oh, you're not worried about it being dangerous for the children. Like, that will not turn, and it's quite difficult to actually turn it when you press it. You've got to have a bit of strength behind there. So when I'm turning it on, I just make sure it's off center on one of the sides of the sinks, because otherwise it'll splash on this middle bit and you don't want boiling water splashing everywhere. You press the safety button down and then spin it backwards, and you have to hold it, because if you let go of it, it turns back off. So you can't just leave it running. You have to hold it, you have to be there, and it goes straight off. So as you can see, it's steaming up now. But that has been so convenient. These taps are quite expensive, but we went with a company called Howden, or I'm sure that that's how you spell it, and they have given me a discount code for you to use. It's not affiliated or anything like that, because I purchased this myself. I went to the company and bought it myself, but because I've tagged them in posts, they've said if I would like to share the discount code that I can do. So I will link that below, and what that will do is get you £20 off a tap, and then also some free filters, which I believe are worth £45, because you have to change the filter in the boiler, because you will need space for a boiler underneath your sink, which is close by. But yeah, that is instant hot water and it is brilliant. It's been a lifesaver for me. It saved me so much time, honestly. Like, one of my favourite purchases ever. So because we went with the Belfast sink, we lost a little bit of space for cupboards here, which I wasn't too concerned about. But what we do have now is like a corner unit. So we open this door and it pulls all the way back, which is really good, because my nan used to have a cupboard like this and the cupboard didn't move like that far, so you could never get in. So that moves all the way back there, and then that side moves back there, and then I just have like my toaster in there, and then all the baking and the stuff for cooking all goes in there, and it's all organised quite nice and neat. I've got plenty of space, and again that soft close there, and it's just really good. So I'm so glad that I actually utilised that extra space and had less cupboard there and the sink that I actually wanted. So this cupboard under the sink is a bit lower down than a normal sized one, but it is a double cupboard there. So if I open that up there, you can see inside that it is quite spacious. And the guy that fitted everything, he made sure that it was all nice and neat and compacted. So you can see the boiler here, which is for the hot water tap. It's not too big. And then I've got my extra spare filters there, and I have everything just in containers just to keep it all nice and neat. So I have like my dishwasher tablets, my Zaflora, and then just my everyday cleaning products. And what I have used as well, again, is some more command hooks on the back of these doors just to utilise the back of the cupboard space with these little clippies again. So I peg up all like my washing up glove and cloths, and then I also have a cloth box here which I got from Tesco, and that is hung up on the back there, and that is just for all of my washing up items. So to the right hand side of my sink we have our dishwasher that is built in, and then we also have this draining board engraved into the marble on the work surface. But the dishwasher is really convenient to be right next to the sink. That's where you want it, which is where it usually is. And we went for a Hisense dishwasher that we bought from AO.com. It was really highly recommended for what we needed when we put in the specs of what we wanted. One thing that if you've never had a dishwasher and you want a dishwasher that I would highly recommend is a cutlery tray, which you would get at the top. Just ignore my dirty dishes in here. But it is a cutlery tray at the top, and it separates all your knives and forks and spoons, which is so much better than a basket. And we also wanted one that held more plates and bowls and all that sort of stuff, with having a bigger family now, because when they were babies you didn't really have as much in the dishwasher, but now we do, and my kids go through cups like I don't know what, so this dishwasher is constantly being filled. So I'll show you the cupboards that are at the top first. So these ones are 900 units and they go all the way to the top, which is great because you're not going to get dust on top of your cupboards. They're completely built to the ceiling, and I've gone from having 600 cupboards to 900 cupboards, and it is amazing. The other size you can get is a 720, which is probably still a reasonable size, but I think I was just so desperate for the storage that I was like, give me the 900s, I want them all the way to the top. So we went with those. This one houses all of my cups. Now I have a bit of a problem that I love to collect cups, so everywhere I go I buy cups. So this is completely filled up with cups. Yes, I know it's a problem, but I just love a good cup. I've been banned from buying cups. So we got this integrated microwave, again from AO.com. We actually got this on sale because it's a Neff one, and Neff can be quite expensive. And we was really umming and ahhing with like Neff and Bosch and which is the best to go with. And the kitchen fitter said that he would highly recommend Neff. So we went with Neff, and it's just your basic standard microwave. It doesn't really do anything special. Just other than warming your food up, which is what we wanted. It's all we needed it for, because we don't really use the microwave for cooking much anyway. But I just feel it's so much neater and cleaner built in rather than having it clogging up the workspace. So that's there, and then the cupboard on top, which is part of this whole unit, is really good just to have as like extra storage up there. So I keep my crock pot and some of my Tupperware boxes up there, and then also some like soup bowls. As you can tell, it is really high up there. And the last cupboard over here we have, which houses just all of our food. I like to keep these in like actual containers with labels on so we know what's in there. I've got my pasta, noodles, rice, bread on one side, and then I have like all my jars and sauces and stuff on the other side. So it is so much neater, and my cupboards before literally housed like this much stuff, and then that was it. So I now feel like I have all this space, it's all nice and spaced out, and the top one is just full of like extra storage containers because it's all empty. Like I had no need for any use up there, which was fantastic. But this cupboard here and these drawers are really where the functionality comes in for helping me with my back. So if I show you in here first of all, we had these put in here. So this is a corner unit, and it has these that slide in and out, because as you can imagine, having a really bad back, it was difficult for me to like crouch down and get in there, whereas these are just really handy and they're so lightweight. You can just pull on it like with a little finger and it just goes in and out. And I'll be honest, I thought I would have more things in there, but I just not needed the storage, which has just been brilliant because it's just so much space in there. And then these drawers I use for all my plates. So I've got my cutlery in this top drawer here, which has got tons of space, whereas before it was all crammed into two little drawers. And then I've got all my plates in here, which this is the most convenient for me because the top cupboards before didn't fit plates in because the width wasn't there, and the bottom cupboard I could not bend down, so this is just the perfect height. And it's also great for the dishwasher because you can just empty it straight out in the dishwasher and the kids can get their own stuff as well. And then in the bottom one we house just like all of our pans and things like that. So again, just so much space, got so much depth in there. I would highly recommend getting drawers for all your pots and pans and everything. They're just really convenient. And again, like I said, for my back, they have been a saving grace. So this area here is actually behind the kitchen door. So this is where the door is. And beforehand, it used to have like a radiator here, and it had like a unit thing for just displaying stuff on there, which just ended up with us putting crap on it and opening the door and leaving it hidden. So we got rid of all that. We removed the radiator. We put new radiators in, which are these tall ones here, which have just got my apron resting on it at the moment. These again were from Tap Warehouse, where we got the sink from. They were really inexpensive compared to other places. And we just really wanted to utilise this hidden space here. So Howdens put in this larder unit in our design, and what the kitchen fitter did was cut it in half because the space was not wide enough for the depth. And he put a back on there, and we use this to house all our glasses and cereal and everything like that. So it's come in handy. It is so at the bottom there we have all of our cereal containers so the kids can access it. We then have all of the children's cups going into like my coffee cups, and our like glassware. Then as you come further up, we have like the wine glasses and the gin glasses and everything like that, which we don't want the kids to be able to access. The only thing that I feel I may do at some point is take the shelves out and paint the backboard, because obviously that didn't come with the unit. It didn't have the white backing, and he was going to add the white backing on, but he felt we were going to lose a bit of space, which he didn't want us to do. But he was really good that he cut all the shelves in half and everything like that, and we could just adjust them however we wanted them. And then that way we can put, like say, the kids can access their stuff lower down and we can access our stuff higher up, and the kids are not going to risk smashing anything because they can't reach any of this, but they're still able to get their own stuff out and like make their own drinks and just do things a little bit more for themselves rather than having to wait for us to do it because they can't reach it somewhere. And I absolutely love this. And when we went into one kitchen store, which I will not name it because I don't really want to slag the company off, but if you do some research online, you can probably guess which one it is. When I said I wanted to put like a larder unit here, but like a small, thinner one, he was like, why would you want to do that? That's just a stupid idea. And I just felt like that was really rude. But Howdens, she was like, no, that's a great idea. And she's put that in for us, and the fitter's done a great job, and it's amazing. I'm so glad I did it because that was a lot of storage that has been amazing for us. So the rest of the things in the kitchen, before I show you the utility room, that I wanted to share are the tiles and the work surfaces. So the tiles that we had put in along the back here and along the sink are from Almorad's, which is based in Bolton. And these were really inexpensive tiles. They are the herringbone design, the way that they are made, you know, in that style. So when we did get that priced up by a tiler initially, they said that that was too hard to do, and then they priced it really expensive. But the tile that we had said, no, it's fine. So don't just listen to one tiler if you want a certain style. It may be that they just don't really want to do it because it's a bit more difficult than normal tiling. So shop around for your tiler. But I'm really happy with how the tiles turned out. One thing that I would probably change if we could go back is the tiles along the window ledge, because we didn't actually have the top of it tiled, which I wish we did now. So we bought this, it's like a piece of acrylic plastic from B&Q, and we had to cut it down, but it does fit perfectly anyway, so I'm still quite happy with it. So that's along the windowsill there, but like I said, if I could go back, I would have the herringbone tiles done on the top of the windowsill as well. The floor tiles that we went with are also from Almorad's in Bolton, and these are the Bianco marble style tiles. One thing though I would say that I'll probably do differently next time is not have a tile with a white grout, because it is impossible to keep it looking pristine and white all the time with having 2 dogs and 2 kids. But I do actually love this flooring. I love the marble and I love how it fits in with the marble worktops, and the grey matches really perfectly. So I am really happy with this flooring. But like I said, the grout, obviously having white grout is not the best. I would probably have gone with a grey grout if I was to do it over. And then looking at the work surfaces, these are all quartz marble Carrara work surfaces. We decided to go with quartz rather than granite because I was reading an article that says granite holds a lot more bacteria and quartz is a little bit more modern and it's really durable. But we had the Carrara design in the marble. It took us a real long time to decide which marble we wanted. But this one, we are really happy with it. I'm so glad that we went with this style. And we got that from Mr. Marble, which is in Bury, Manchester. And I think there is another one a bit more closer to central Manchester as well. But their service was phenomenal. I do just have to say that I don't know if we got really lucky or because we went off recommendations, we found really good people. So like I said, Clarissa at Howdens was brilliant designing. The guy that fitted our kitchen, Howard, was recommended to us from a friend and he did a superb job. When the people from the quartz company came to fit, they said they've never seen a fit so neat, which I was really happy about. And then when the quartz people actually came, the fitter was so shocked at how quick and efficient their service was and how much of a good job they did. And when the tiler came, the fitter also said he was really good, and they all sort of exchanged numbers as well, which was good. So they're probably getting other business off each other, which is fantastic. So we really liked working with all these people. But before I wrap up the video, I've still got the utility room to show you, which is part of the kitchen. So from here, this is the kitchen area that I've just gone round. It's kind of like a square. You come in the door just here, which is next to this large larder unit. This is out under the stairs here. And then as you come round, we have this archway here that then goes through into our utility room. We did and ah whether to put a door on there, but we felt that it would be too closed off, but we've decided to keep it as it is. So we did decide to keep our American style fridge freezer because it's a brilliant fridge freezer. It's a Beko, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Again, we bought that from AO.com. So we decided to keep that. Just ignore all the children's artwork on the fridge. We do love to celebrate the children's achievements. But again, we wanted to utilize the vertical space. So up here, we used to just pile loads of stuff on top of the fridge and it was just so messy. It looked disgusting really, so I wanted to have a cupboard put above the fridge. And the other kitchen company that I went to said, no, this can't be done. you're crazy, that's never going to work, the girl at Howdens has designed you a dream, it's never going to happen, because this is sort of what I envisioned and she'd done it for me. So I was a bit worried thinking, is it going to all work out? But it's worked out absolutely perfectly fine. So in this cupboard here, we just keep all of like our alcoholic beverages. Now, we're not very big drinkers. If you come back in 6 months time, this will probably all still be here, but we just keep that all up there. It's out of the way of the children, they can't access that up there. And then these are all like decorative glasses that I use at Christmas and stuff when people come round. And then them are some of Kieran's army decanters that he got from the army when he was in there, and some port glasses from the army as well, which he wants to keep all nice up there. So they were all on top of the fridge before, so you can imagine that rattling around and just looking all messy. But now they're all nice and neat and put away. So I think the moral of that is if you've got an idea, try and go with it and see how it turns out, because you never know, it could be really good. The next thing that we designed was the utility area, which is over on this side. So initially we had a sink here and we had the washing machine here, and the dogs used to sleep in front of the fridge, which was very inconvenient when you needed to get in the fridge. But now the dogs have their own little cubby compartment, which is just so cute. Lady is so happy with it. She loves it so much in there. She likes to just take herself away. We've put some little cushions in there because they like to rest their heads on cushions. They're very pampered, my dogs. So we have this is like the junk drawer, you know, the kind of drawer you need just to put all your crap in there. We try and keep it as organised as we can, but it's like bin liners, food bags, all that sort of stuff. But it's like a double drawer, which is really good, so it fits a lot of stuff in there, and it limits the amount of crap that we keep when we try and keep it as organised as possible. The washing machine is again from AO.com. This was the washing machine we already had. That is, I'm going to say Beko, but it could be Beko, but yeah, Beko one. And it works absolutely perfectly fine. It's a really good washing machine, so there was no need for us to get a new one because the black fit in with the grey and white and black theme we had going on. And then we just had this tall double cupboard put in up here just for extra storage. This has all of our like laundry stuff in here, excess cleaning stuff. There's some like glasses up there, which are again are out of the way of the children at the top. And then on the other side here, it's just all like the dog's food, bird food and stuff like that. We have like bird feeders everywhere, so it's just all excess stuff in there. But what I do like to do is keep things in these baskets because it just keeps it all neat, and you can just pull the basket out when you need something rather than like scrambling behind everything. These again were a 900 unit that go all the way to the top, and they're just amazing for the storage size, and you can adjust all the shelves in there. We also had the worktops installed in here. A few people were like, why are you getting quartz put in the utility room? That's so expensive. But I didn't see the point in getting a different unit when it's integrated in the whole room. It would have just been a little bit weird. And to be honest, when they gave us a quote, and when they came and actually did it, they knocked £300 off it. So we ended up having the backsplash done behind the cooker in the same quartz. I do spend a lot of time in here doing laundry. Obviously, I've got kids, so laundry just never stops, does it? But I wanted this place to be like pretty, and I followed this girl on Instagram. She's called Gemma, and she's so lovely, and she has this space in her utility room, and I was like, that is such a good idea, because I couldn't think of what to do here. It was kind of just all white and it looked very plain, so I just copied her idea really. And I just added like the different cleaning things that I would use, and I added these stickers which I got from my niece who makes stickers. I will link her Facebook page on here. And this picture here, this home has endless love and laundry, was from the range, and candles from Tesco. But yeah, this is just kind of like a nice neat area now to have for my laundry room. It's like a little doggy bedroom. I'm just so happy with it. So that is my entire kitchen tour. I think I pretty much told you everything, where all the things are from. I will link everything below, like I will list everything where I got everything from and what it is. And things like the paint that we just used Valspar as our paint from B&Q. We really love Valspar as a brand. We've used it throughout the whole house. And they colour match, which is brilliant. So what we did is we took a piece of the leftover unit and took it to B&Q, and they colour matched the grey so that we could paint all the door frames and everything grey to match. And then we used all the baseboards we had loads of leftover baseboards that they sent us. We used that as our skirting around the whole kitchen, so it all fit in, and it was really, really good. So I will link everywhere. I'll link the joiner that we used, I'll link you know, the companies that we used, if I can find them like online or what have you, and if I can find the products, I'll link that all below. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you found it really helpful. If you're looking at getting a new kitchen, just giving you a few thoughts and ideas, and you know, this stuff that I really wanted but I couldn't have because of the size of the kitchen. And sometimes you just have to accept that and find alternatives and ways you can make it that you want, because I would have loved a massive pantry, but I just don't have the space for that, and I've had to learn to live with that. But I've come up with like other ideas of what I can do. Have a look on Pinterest, have a look on Instagram. There are so many ideas on there. And yeah, I hope if you're having a kitchen done that you find what works for you and you find a really good company. Just definitely shop around, get all your quotes, compare them. You can even haggle a little bit with that. Go off recommendations for your builders, and that's pretty much all the advice I can possibly give. It was a bit of an experience having a new kitchen fitted. I've never done it before, and I'm not gonna lie, it was not enjoyable 3 weeks of my life, but it was 3 weeks, and that wasn't that long really. So yeah, it was definitely worth the 3 weeks of agonising pain of cooking in a microwave in the dining room and having no dishwasher and no sink and washing stuff in the bathtub and just dust everywhere. But I'm so happy with how it turned out. You know, having a kitchen fitted is a really stressful experience. It's one of the main rooms in your house, probably the main room in your house that you spend the most time in and cleaning and all sorts. So you want it to be how you want it. So just take the time and don't let anyone compromise your vision. If you've seen something, work with the right people, and when you find the right people, you'll just know. So if you are having a kitchen fitted or anything else done in your house, good luck with it. It'll all work out okay in the end, even though it's stressful having it done. So thank you for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be bringing you some more videos over the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.